You're listening to the Unreasonable Fridays Podcast Network.
All right. You don't even need to worry about the sound check then.
I already know my sound is horrible. I'm coming straight to you from my phone headphones.
Oh, you good.
The Samsung.
You good.
The Samsung out the box.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, that's fair.
Yep. Because I'm like, that's all I want. I just want people, because realistically, like, you're talking about the seasonal model just breaking out for a little bit. So it's like, it might as well just, let's be serious about this and be like, there's just no, this is not a thing happening for, I don't know how long. And I need you guys to tell me. That's one thing, is I need you guys to tell me how long you guys are going to be gone for, because I don't know what's happening. From the looks of it, it seems like you're gone for the rest of the year. That's what I'm just piecing everything together, is that you guys are gone for the rest of the year, given holidays and everything like that.
Well, they definitely said this was the largest expansion they've ever had, storytelling wise.
Right.
Yeah.
Shadowbringers was what, 50 hours?
So it's the largest expansion they've ever had, but they're still expecting us to finish it in a month because Savage comes out in January.
I don't.
So,
it should be fine.
What should be fun?
I'm scared.
Finishing the expansion before January, that should be fine.
I'm scared, Bacon. I'm scared.
I don't know. I'm reading, like, I actually look at the events and stuff, and I'm like in the chat and shit, and like stuff. I don't know. I'm on the outside looking in, and
this is unprecedented territory.
It's just hundreds of thousands of people just rubbing their hands together like Birdman, all in unison. So it's just like, I don't know what to make. Like, that's all I see in the chat is just niggas just rubbing their hands together while the Japanese fellow comes out in different costumes and says stuff about the game. And that's
okay.
What?
No, there's one thing I want to bring up when you start recording, because these niggas are evil geniuses. Evil fucking geniuses.
Are we gonna
Bacon
start?
already knows it. Bacon already knows what I'm about to bring up, but these niggas are diabolical. This is some Steph Curry from half court shit. Like,
go on.
All right, hold that, because
Go ahead, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
we're gonna start right now. Welcome to another episode of Ad Space. This is journalism live on the ground before the launch of the Final Fantasy XIV and Walker expansion. We are live with Final Fantasy players Elise Bacon, CFO of the Unreasonable Fridays Podcast Network, Justin of the 3/5 Podcast, and Aaron Batt of the Black Astronauts Podcast, here live on the ground. What's it looking like on the ground, guys?
I'm trying to finish the house.
oh, it's not done. Okay.
Wait. I have a question. I went downstairs, Bacon.
Yes.
Is that a fucking moon on the wall?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
No. So before Bacon told us, hey, don't stand in the stairway around like noon Eorzea time, I was like, why wouldn't I do that? Oh my God, my eyes. The stained glass windows in this game actually take in sunlight.
Yes.
All the windows take in sunlight, and the game takes count of north, south, east, west, and where the sun would be shining outside of the house into the house at any particular time of day. So I said, don't stand in the stairway between 10 a.m. and noon Eorzea time, because it's brighter than it is flashier than a red mage. Was my exact verbiage. And I posted a screenshot of it in the Shots for Days folder of the Discord.
It's a lot, man.
I'm gonna look.
It's a flood of light. It is a flood of light.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Hold on, let me look.
Also, where is the guy with our with our retainers. I can't find it.
Oh,
So,
I'm
the
sorry.
desk.
It's in the desk.
Oh, okay.
The bells are glitched through the desk, so it looks like the bells are on the desk.
Ah, okay. I was
It's
so
actually
confused.
it's
I ran
actually
up-
brilliant.
I,
It's actually brilliant.
I mean,
I forgot to mention that.
I was running upstairs and downstairs. I probably looked so dumb.
No,
Oh no,
I
did the exact same thing, and then I was like, wait a second, are these bells? Did they do it? They did it.
It wasn't even hard. July is the one who showed me. He's like, yeah, I hide the bell stand in like items, and I'm like,
That
why
makes
have I
sense.
never
It makes
thought
sense.
of that? It's so easy. You just move it inside the desk and it just stays.
So, for context, listeners, the when we thought about moving ADD space to a seasonal model, I know some people might have thought it was for the actual seasons, for break time, summertime, Christmas time, holidays. Actually, in my head, I thought it was for proper game releases of such incredible monument that we need to give our host some time. And this is what is happening. We're all coming to you to officially announce that we will be out of office until when?
All right, so look, so boom.
Nigga,
Here we go.
Early, early access starts on Friday, right?
Friday, December 3rd, 2021.
Friday, December 3rd. Savage drops January 5th. So that's at least from December 3rd to January 5th. Let's say about 3 months of Savage before folks start, wanting to take a break and burn out, or not burn out. Folks just want to take a break. We're looking at the March time period. Oh, wait, that's probably when 6.1 is going to drop.
Yep,
Around
and
that
that's
March
when
time
all the
frame.
new crafting and gathering things hit.
And the new housing. All right, so we're realistically looking at like May.
I mean, we'll still be.
That's
okay.
a long. That's a
Okay,
long
no. Let's give a realistic timeline. Realistic timeline is we're not recording for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
After 2 weeks, Mariah Carey celebrates Jesus' birthday. So I don't know.
We'll just be back in January. It's fine.
January.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's not like I'm going to be running Savage all fucking goddamn day because I refuse to live that life.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
I refuse. I have learned from doing hard content that there is a tap out time about 2 to 3 hours. You can really only retain information after 2 to 3 hours of time. After that, you're just banging your head against the wall, making just like silly mistakes.
That's an experienced writer right there.
Like even most statics, when they run content, they will run like 2 to 3 hours at a time. They don't do the all day thing, because again, you're just banging your head up against a wall. Like it just does not work.
And
There's-
like practice with anything, like
You have to take
you
breaks.
keep trying. You got to take breaks because you're not at a certain point. You hit a wall. You start getting cranky with your teammates.
Thing, right? You start getting super spicy, and
Yep.
that one comment go the wrong way. I done seen whole raid teams just destroyed mid raid because of one comment.
Look, my brother and I compare 14 rating to basketball, and like
Not wrong.
it is so it works on so many levels. All you need is that one dude that thinks he's hardened, that doesn't have to practice as hard as everybody else, talk spicy to everyone else, and that one dude that think he Westbrook, like, hey, you're not gonna talk to me like that. I don't know who you think you're talking to,
Yeah.
but you are not going to talk to me that way.
Nah.
That's when you hear that I'm grown.
Yo,
The instinct I'm grown come out like, hold on, bro. Who are you talking to?
oh no, my favorite one is I don't know who you think you're talking to.
Yeah, that's the good one too. Because it's already
My favorite response is always like I always keep my response PG, because I ain't gonna let no asshole get me banned.
oh,
Truth.
So I'm
Truth.
always like, there's no reason to be rude. let's take a break. And then if somebody, and that goes one of two ways. So what happens is like the person being rude will either shut the fuck up and stew in silence, or they will lose their I take it three ways, or they will lose their ever living shit and go off on a tirade and then get kicked from the group and blacklisted by like everybody and reported, or they will leave.
Hey, Bacon, I got one question.
Yes.
Whose face did you see when you said that shut the fuck up? Because that was like the most accurate. I gotta know.
I mean, it's happened so many times. It's like default response.
That's when we got to do like one of my favorite podcasts, The Right Time. What he'll do is anytime there's a story that he has to tell off air, instead of just like telling it off air, he will tell you, hey, play some elevator music over this. And then he'll tell the story behind the elevator music. It is equally the most annoying but intriguing thing. Because you know something spicy is behind the elevator music. And you will never know what is behind the elevator music.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Okay.
And
This
did I
is the
put
part
mistletoe above LJ's desk? I absolutely did.
I mean,
oh, it's above my desk now.
It's been above your desk. Well, not above your desk. It's above your door.
Oh, well then. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's funny.
Um,
I have to decorate the behemoth now.
So, but before I have to disappear for other responsibilities.
For the year.
Well, for the calendar year, not a 365 days.
No, you didn't you didn't like tear your ACL, not like a year, but like the year, like the corny joke year.
Yes.
What?
You know the corny joke when somebody says see you next year and it's like December 24th? That shit, corny joke year.
Oh, I fucking hate that shit.
It's a terrible joke, but it is what it is. Justin's gonna be back next year. Corny joke year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got to talk about. All right, I want to bring up two things. The first, Stellaris released a new race pack.
Hate them.
I love them. I made
No,
Crime
I mean,
Syndicate
I just
Dolphins.
hate. I'm just angry at Stellaris. That's all.
Understandable. Apparently, Paradox is like, oh my god, they're wilding over there. Like,
it's a lot.
Not as bad as Blizzard. I don't think anything could get that bad, but it's pretty bad. It's like what I would expect from an American company, kind of bad.
Huh.
I mean, Blizzard's an American company.
Yes, no, I mean, Paradox. They're a Swedish company.
Oh, right. Paradox is Swedish.
Hey, aren't they under the Embracer Group? Like, didn't they get bought by that big conglomerate, like the Embracer Group?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they're like one of the 18 studios they bought.
Oh, damn.
Or Paradox.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do one of our investigative deep dives on what has actually been happening at Paradox since they've replaced their CEO. Because she stepped down and said, "I'm not dealing with this anymore." And I think we talked about it briefly.
I am so behind on the Paradox.
Yeah, I think we covered it briefly when she stepped down because we were like, "This is odd." And her statement was effectively, "I'm not dealing with this anymore." We're like, "Oh, okay, something bad is probably about to happen." But the Aqua Pack is awesome. They add a bunch of new features, but most importantly, crime dolphins. I have a crime syndicate of dolphins that live underwater, and they live on your planet, and they live in the water on your planet, and they run crime rackets literally under your nose. It's amazing.
You can never
dolphins.
talk shit about me about the Nami Nam Empire ever again. Conglomerate. I changed them to a conglomerate.
I mean, you're right. I understand capitalism now.
Ever. So you made a crime syndicate and now you suddenly understand capitalism. Just want to say how you sound, Justin.
Crime dolphins kind of sound like old time racism.
I mean, it kind of is.
It kind of sounds like some you hear a nigger behind that or something.
You mean like it's in that porch monkey family?
Yeah, kind of. It's like,
What was it? What was it?
Now I can't unsee it.
Damn,
But
Crown Dolphins.
I mean,
see,
if go on, please.
so I said before I go down the crime dolphin rabbit hole, because I can actually see the old man on his porch. Look at them crime dolphins over there with their hippity hop in there.
I hate everybody right now.
I mean,
I just want to take this moment to talk about the evil geniuses at Square Enix. At 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they dropped the trailer for Final Fantasy 14 1.0.
Okay, so I wasn't tripping. I wasn't tripping when I woke up this morning and saw 1.0 and was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't watch it. But
I know it was at 11 o'clock because that's when I have my cereal at night. And it was just there on my YouTube. And I was
And
like,
they
what?
sneak drop that shit.
And I'm watching the trailer. We know about Ardbert. Sorry, Shadowbringers spoilers. So if you're not all the way caught up on Shadowbringers, skip ahead.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
We see Ardbert.
All right.
We see Rita Ray. We see Nalbert. We see all the Warriors of Darkness. But we see one other person there that wasn't there in 2.0, but shows up again when you finish Shadowbringers. Scylla was there from the beginning. These evil fucking geniuses. These evil fucking geniuses. She was there.
Wait, who
from
was
1.0. The elf gladiator. So if you watch the trailer, there's a moment where they're fighting a Morble, and it's Ardbert, the dwarf, and there's a Brandon, and then there's a gladiator that's an elf. When you beat all the role quests and you do all of the Warring Triad, you get 2 additional quests that show you what the Warriors of Darkness last adventure was. And the person that orchestrated all of that teamed up with the Asians. It's the waitress from the bar on the Crystarium. And she's in the 1.0 trailer.
Get the
Evil fucking genius.
Right. And that has like there's like some very important narrative stuff for that.
I'm sorry, man. I know y'all telling me not to think this crazy, but like something big is gonna happen, man. Like, and it ain't,
I ain't never telling you not to think that.
Listen,
we listen, nigga. We all know. We just don't know what
is dropping too many hints about secrets that we don't know about yet. Like,
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I will be shocked, but I won't be surprised I'll be surprised at what happens. I won't be surprised that they tried it. Like, that's where I am at this point.
fair, yeah.
Like, whatever they try, I'll be like, of course they tried this. Of course. Why wouldn't they? Like, dropping the 1.0 trailer 2 days before early access for your last expansion, which is the finale of this saga. With the added context of everything that just happened in the last expansion. Like, that is Steph Curry from half court, putting it up, turning around, saying, no, it's going in. I don't care, it's going in.
I've never seen a more polite, ravenous fan base. Like, they're just like, yeah, take your time. Please give us the game now. Like,
no, we're like, please do it, please.
this is dope, man. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Being current is so good too, because you're just like,
Oh, I've been casting gun everywhere.
I love the fact that I love the fact that Aaron has picked up machinist and
It's so
has
fun.
also just like has found the way of the gun, as I call it.
Yeah,
It's just we just call it gun class.
yeah. gun.
It's just
I cast gun. I got a new ability that lets me shoot guns out of my gun.
That sounds
Wait,
like
which
that sounds
ability
like
is that?
That well the 50 level 50 secondary trait of the second part of the rotation that gets upgraded. I can't remember what it's called.
Heat
Where
blast?
it changes it to where you're shooting a row of bullets instead of just one bullet. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You literally line up a row of bullets and shoot them one by one out of your gun. So you're taking extra time to line these bullets up outside of your gun to make sure that I get shot accurately.
It is. I don't know. So they managed to make a class that is like, it's all gun, but it's not US gun.
No.
So like it is, I don't know, it's like an entirely gun obsessed class. It is all gun with like other tools in it, with like basically like different kinds of guns.
And
But
I had a crossbow that just unlocked. Like, cool.
auto crossbow is, I love that one because like it literally makes a sound of brrrr,
Yeah, that's right.
brrrr. It's great. Literally my favorite. It really does that when you go like machinos go brrrr. It like it that like the sound it makes is that sound.
Yeah, it's real good.
I love it. But again, it's not like, it is not token US gun class. It is just, it is much cooler than that.
And I see why they had to nerf the DPS on these range classes, because this thing, it just is all DPS.
Well, so the way that it works out, is Machinist has the highest personal DPS, but the lowest raid DPS. Raid DPS is like your entire the DPS of your entire group,
Right.
because Machinist has no. Machinist is really selfish. The only buff it gives to the party is Tactician, which is a damage mitigation.
I guess that is fair.
But yeah, the other ones, both Bard and Dancer, increase raid DPS, but Machinist doesn't do any of that, so it has the highest personal DPS, which is fine. So it's actually like the only range DPS that is just straight DPS.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
And the funny thing is that people used to be like, man, Machinist bad, and it's like, Machinist not bad though.
Not at all.
Machinist is really not bad. Machinist gets going. It's great.
Also, I'm a tank, by the way. So my Dancer puts out some numbers, but yeah, not like this Machinist. Like I can see when I'm hitting them with the Machinist. The Dancer, I'm like, did that land? Yeah, okay. It don't look too good. I'm critting every 3 shots with the Machinist.
And you have a button that's literally auto crit.
Yeah, it's just a crit button.
It's just a crit. The abilities reassemble. It makes whatever your next weapon skill is a crit.
We lost Justin, by the way. Please continue.
Yeah, I know we lost Justin. I saw the chat.
Okay,
He disappeared.
He's gone. Goodbye,
He's
Justin.
gone. We've lost another one to Endwalker.
Goodbye.
He's on the other side.
He's
already.
on the other side. We will see you. We will see you on the other side, Justin.
God bless you, Justin. Please continue.
So I'm always excited when everybody finds their DPS class, because we need more DPS classes.
We sure do. Well, we get a bunch of new people, half of which probably don't even know who I am. It's so funny every time I'm in the chat. I'm like, hey, nerds. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Half these people probably don't know who I am. I should probably say hello first.
It's okay. The only reason they know who I am is because I am a leader.
It was wild seeing all these new people.
Yeah, we got like 10 new people in like 2 weeks. And like the FC is just like wildly active, and I was just like not expecting any of this right before expansion dropped, so I'm just like
y'all were doing maps tonight.
I will not be doing that.
Yeah,
I
I'm done.
I've sworn off maps until expansion because I realized I was getting burned out. So I was like,
Oh, that's right. We get a new dungeon or a new map, right?
we'll be getting new maps, and
Yeah.
then when we do the maps, I'll be leading map parties again.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't last time I wasn't at cap. So going into Shadowbringers, I was behind y'all. It's dope this time that I'm actually caught up with y'all. So I can
Yeah, everybody's caught up too, which is gonna be exciting because we're all gonna be like, and I know people are gonna be coming back too. I don't know who's coming back. I don't know who's bought it. I have no.
you just
Ev-
go yeah, I'm guaranteeing you're gonna see about 5 or 10 new people just pop back up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting that. I just don't know who. Nobody has specifically said that they are coming back, and that's kind of how that shit works.
Fair.
So I have no clue who's coming back or when they're coming back, which again is fine. But I do know we're gonna get more actives like as soon as like in the first bit of Shadowbringer.
Like food buffs and all that, you got that all set up and taken care of?
Yeah, so what I've been working on this entire time has been getting the submarine locations all unlocked.
Oh yeah.
And I've been and getting the FC rank 3 actions unlocked. So I have I literally currently I have a month worth of the rank 3 XP buff, and I'm working on the gathering and crafting ones. I just decided that for like the first week or two, I'm not gonna have those ones up. I'm just gonna probably have like the cheaper teleports up for the first week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
I heard that is getting raised quite a bit. You better start getting on your mount.
oh god, yeah, I'm gonna use my allied seals for free teleports from.
Good old Aetherite tickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the Aetherite tickets, which you can get from using allied hunt seals for the cheaper. So like, yeah, as you can see, there's prep work before expansion.
A lot, apparently.
And so I've been mostly focusing on prep work while redecorating the FC house.
This has just been interesting to watch, like seeing everybody get, not only is this like a big expansion, but this is like the end of a story and the beginning of a new story, right? Like that's the thing we always forget. It's not also the end of a story. They're gonna set up some more stuff before they end this. So I'm very interested to see how they nail this landing, because it is. Whew.
Yeah, 6.1 when that releases in probably March or February, probably March-ish, March, April. When that releases, that's going to be the beginning of a brand new story, which is going to be super exciting because well, we need more new stories. And it'll be like, and I'm really excited to see what it's going to be.
Right. I want to see structure and everything. Like, is it going to be the same? Like, are we going to be relying on crystals anymore? Like, we know that there's going to be the end of Highland and Zodiac. Like, what's next?
Well, what does that mean? Like, we know it's the end of Heidelin and Zodiac, but like, what does that mean? What does it look like? And I mean, we're gonna see what that looks like, but after, like, at the end of this story, but there's just no way to know. It's really funny. There's a lot of like fan theories and theory crafting, and my favorite part is whenever there's any theory crafting like that, the devs and the writers are like, lol. They're always like, lol, that's cute. So
I'm just excited, like I said before.
I'm so excited.
Me too. As a lurker, I've made peace with the loss of talent. I've never seen as a mass exodus. Like, I fumbled the ball in free agency where everybody of import is going to be gone and I'm pretty much going to have to rely on piecemeal spot reporting in the minute to minute until we sort that out. But I'm still
I
very
will be
excited.
I will be live streaming.
Oh no, yeah, also as the deal, we're not gone. Y'all just ain't gonna be here, but you're gonna be live streaming, and Justin's gonna be playing with you. So everyone, you're gonna hear familiar voices and see familiar faces. So it's absolutely no problem at all. But it's just maybe
I usually just lurk behind Bacon because I have the biggest character. And they have like the tiniest of the tiny characters. And
Excuse me, I'm max height.
I'm sorry, I didn't know kneecap was a height.
So specifically because of Aaron's character is a Rodigan, that actually is accurate. Lalafels are about max height is pretty much kneecap height of Rodigans.
That day we were riding our bikes together was hilarious.
Oh yeah, the motorcycles. Yeah. So I had like two major I used almost all of my COVID money for like bills, and then I set aside like some of that COVID money for like one was a completely irresponsible purchase. One only looked irresponsible until you looked at it. The espresso machine. I have saved so much money on that espresso machine. Also, I just make better coffee. No shit. Like I've gone out and got coffee a few times, like after getting my espresso machine. And I'm just like, when you get like a bad coffee after making good coffee for yourself for like a fraction of the cost, it's like, what am I doing with this? Why did I waste $6 on this drink? This is horrible. But my irresponsible purchase was buying the Cloud motorcycle for my Final Fantasy character. I generally don't do microtransactions unless I've been playing a game for like 6 months to over a year. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for 4 years, so they can get my microtransactions.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one, right? Right.
But I specifically like the motorcycle's expensive, but like I really wanted that motorcycle specifically for the only reason that it looks like a fucking toy vehicle when a lot of is on it.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't know the math on how y'all feet touch anything ever.
Because it scales to our size. It's literally like, they're always them kids with like the wealthier families that have like there's the toy car for kids, but then there's like the one that looks like a motherfucking car and actually works.
Yes.
Like the Barbie Beachmobiles.
Yes.
That's what this reminds me of, but it's a motorcycle.
Yes. It's ridiculous. And of course, I can barely fit on anything. Me on the chocobo is hilarious every single time because I just hang off the side of a chocobo. Just might as well just put the chocobo on my back and we fly. Like, see how big I am.
To be fair, because the chocobo scale, I have that feeling with all the chocobos, which makes the name Struggle Chicken for mine extra funny, even though that is not the origin of that name. Shout out to everybody who was on Twitter in 2013, 2014, who understand hashtag struggle chicken.
Well, you might need to. Well, now you got to explain it because that's such a nuanced reference. Now you kind of.
No, this is 20. I don't feel like explaining 2014, 2015 Black Twitter jokes.
Fair point. Continue.
I had to make an alt for a housing commission, and I finally unlocked the Chocobo companion and the Chocobo on my alt, and that one's name is Scamuel Jackson. I was like, I have to keep the trend of Black Twitter jokes.
Just like the subs.
Oh yeah, the subs are ridiculous. But yeah, so there's been a lot of prep time, and because they're gonna have all the holiday events are getting postponed and whatnot all, and I seasonally decorate the house. I'm doing the seasonal decorations right now, also because Hanukkah started on the 28th. Happy Hanukkah, everybody who's Jewish and celebrates. And I wanted to at least get like the house like holiday decorated for that, and of course the new year. And I didn't want to be house decorating in the middle of Endwalker.
That's
The
real.
moon with the alien coming out, Bacon. Come on. It's so good. I went down the steps and was like, oh nope, that deserves a picture. I'm gonna go back upstairs and change.
It is a demon wall. That is our DJ. The one above the door is the secretary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, there's okay. So that like we've mentioned this before. The FC has like there's a RP related narrative with the FC, and my character Lala Falafels is an aetherologist, studies aether, studies especially void scent, and somehow untethered void scent from the other realm, and so now there's like demon walls in the house.
Is that why there are demon walls everywhere?
Yeah.
It makes well, as somebody that doesn't go into the RP.
What happened outside of the RP is I was setting up the house for Halloween one year, like it was not last year, but it was the year before. And the demon wall, I had moved the demon wall, and the demon wall like got stuck above the door.
Oh, okay.
And it fit so perfectly that I decided I'm never moving it because it fits so perfectly there. So then I just started seasonally decorating the demon wall.
Okay. Yeah.
And then to annoy LJ, I wrapped it up. I made it make sense within the RP narrative. because
Stones covered.
because I live to troll LJ in the game.
Wait, oh my God, the troll you did on Discord. Oh my God.
Which one?
When I was talking about doing the gathering and making somebody who might be the age of 7 hit the button for me, you literally put underneath my post LJ and liked each
I
one.
didn't. That wasn't me who did that.
Who did that? That was hilarious.
So Aaron had stated, he had asked, like, is it wrong to get your kid hooked on gathering for you? And I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it if you don't tell your friend that the gathering relic is super easy and not time consuming to do it all. And to which everybody who knows the source of that story started laughing, and I believe it was Sasane who put LJ.
Yeah.
So no, it is not bad nor a crime to get your child very excited and gathering to help you make your gathering life easier. Just make sure you give them candy, pay their wages. However, don't tell your friend who has been grinding the gathering relics that it is easy and not time consuming to do.
The mining relic was awful. God, it was awful.
I'm working on the fishing relic and I want to die.
Oh, good. No.
It's terrible. I finished the botanist one, but I'm okay. I'm okay with the fishing relic being the only one I haven't finished before Endwalker. I'm literally okay with that because there's too much RNG.
There's a point where you have to wait in Mordana for gloom for certain fish, and I was like, man, I'm good. I ain't got time to be sitting there waiting on certain weather cycles to come through.
Fishing is ass sometimes, but it's also really fun.
It is fun though. Like when you go ocean fishing with you a bunch of people, like that's fun. But no,
I understand. Okay, let's see. I need more Moogle lamps.
What do you got you got anything you really excited to get the resolution on for Endwalker?
So I
not saying how it's going to be resolved, but like just something you should get
just the story itself, because like how do I put this? I'm really tired of Zodiac and Heidelin.
Okay.
Like just in general, like I'm tired of them. And I'm like, I really like with what they did with I think it was really good that they gave context to the Asians, because
yes.
Before what it was just like, y'all are just doing this to do this, but now it makes sense. So like all of Shadowbringers, like putting the Ascians into context, and I thought that was really great. And I thought that was also just like a really because like so the interesting thing that Final Fantasy does, especially Final Fantasy 14, is that there are not all villains are the same, and like they'll have multiples at once. So there's like a clear villain character, right?
Right.
And then you have antagonists who aren't actually. I think that antagonists and villains are not the same thing. As well as you have anti-heroes, and then you also have. I wouldn't like Xenos, for instance. I wouldn't even call him a villain, anti-hero, or anything. I'd just call him a force of nature.
He'd be so bored all the time.
Right, but like he's completely uncontrollable. Like
Yeah.
he is but he's also his goals don't align with anything. He doesn't even really have.
That's the thing. We don't know what his goals are, right?
He doesn't really have goals in the way that like any of the other so that's why like characters like that I consider a force of nature, not like a villain or an anti-hero or they don't move along the same rules.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and also Zodiark is literally a force of nature as well. So like I don't like there's like the big bads, but then there's also like more nuanced levels of characters and situations that are it's more than just like this is good and evil.
Yeah, especially with the Shadowbringers, like you said, like the way they framed the Ascians, I would have never guessed that we would get as much, or they would mean as much to the story overall, and how they made it make sense. You know,
Right?
like,
And like, and like they changed they changed the framing of one specific character that's been like around since ARR. They changed his entire framing in one patch.
yeah,
I will never be over that. Will never be over what they did with Elizabeth. I will never. So I mean, and that's just not something that you really see in games in general. Like there's very much a clear, like stark, like this is what this character is, this is what this character is. You don't have a multitude of complicated characters. You usually just have like maybe one.
fair, yeah.
And so because Final Fantasy 14, the writing, they do a lot of writing I don't see in other games. I can't really guess what they're gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not asking you to guess. I'm just saying, like, for me, I would love to see Gaius have like, I know he already had his redemption arc with, the Eden's like storyline, but I would like to see him have some finality to like all of it, like, because he's, he saw Xenos do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, he needs not closure because I feel like he has this closure, but he needs a new beginning.
Yes. Yeah, he needs a reason to still be around.
He definitely has a reason. They give him that at the end of the Sorrows of Weralt.
Well, yes. Not Eden's Sorrows.
Yeah. I mean, I knew you knew what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we on the same page. But it ended so sad that like I just he needs something good to happen to him.
It ended awfully.
I need something for him. I need like again, closure isn't really it.
He just needs to start over because
right. He needs
maybe those little kids will be like his because woo.
there's only the one out of his children.
No. The ones that at the very end.
Oh yeah, them kids. Yeah. Like I'm just like
I mean, when one of your kids turns into a giant mech Ava style.
All of them even.
Well, I mean, that last one especially, like.
Yeah, that last one was particularly so bad. but I'm just hoping that he gets the opportunity for like a real new beginning, especially because we're going to be dealing with Garlemald and whatnot all. To kind of put it into context, Gaius is one of the big bads in A Realm Reborn. And essentially over time, it turns out that like, so they basically gave Gaius's backstory in Shadowbringers, and yeah, they basically in the end of Stormblood and in Shadowbringers, they basically started giving his backstory and explaining what he's been doing, and he's basically a rebel now in Garlemald and he's been helping. He's been essentially kind of like helping the resistance against the Garlemald Empire and against Gaius. Not Gaius, I mean against Varys and against the Asians. And so he had a major redemption arc, just major, but it was also extremely sad. He basically lost all of his adopted children.
When we got to Emerald Weapon, and I was like, wait a minute, man. I see the math on this and it ain't working out very well.
I was very upset. Like there was not a single storyline. There were two storylines, and they were both very much side storylines that did not make me cry. But that one definitely made me cry really hard. Yeah, it was all bad from beginning to end. It was all bad. It was never going to go anywhere good. But I also don't hate that because it also again deals with war and revolution, and revolution isn't pretty.
Also, we got that last fight, and we're on top of a giant. Okay, you win.
No, and of course, and like true Japanese fashion, the last fight is on top of a giant mech.
Yeah, I mean, you
specifically,
win.
It's on the carriers that carry the mech.
Yes.
So it's so because I don't know where they're going, to answer your question, because I don't know where the writers are going to be going, how they're going to be taking things. I don't have a specific narrative that I'm I'm excited for it to get resolved because I don't know what they're resolving.
Fair.
Like they're resolving everything to do with Zodiark and Hydaelyn and with the Asians, but there's other narratives there. So I don't know what they're resolving and what's going to carry over. I'm sure all of the leftover things of like again stuff with Garlemald, we're probably not going to be ever done with Garlemald for a while.
Well, yeah, I mean we're eventually going to have to rebuild it, right?
It's completely like bombed on fire. It's in ruins. Garlemald's in ruins. What didn't get destroyed immediately? The generals of the Garlemald military all like destroyed fighting each other. There's basically civil war in Garlemald right now.
Yeah, it's wild.
So like the Asians destroyed Garlemald. There's war with the there's war with the rest of everybody.
It's two differing factions, right? It's multiple factions inside.
There's more factions right now because again the generals all split.
Right.
So that's kind of with the storyline with the Bajan resistance. The generals who are out fighting the Bajan resistance, they didn't get the message that Garlemald had fallen and the empire was done until way late. And then they tried to continue taking it for themselves.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's happening with other territories as well.
Is that why the last... Okay.
Yeah, so like literally Garlemald is having a civil war right now as its central government has fallen.
Right. Okay.
And so Xenos doesn't care about anything. So he's not going to be like emperor. The emperor's dead. Xenos doesn't care about anything other than his hyper fixation with the Warrior of Light. and Fandil, who just wants to destroy everything.
Okay.
So
So
Garlemald has no ruler. The central government has fallen. And the central government has fallen, and some generals have decided to take advantage of that because it's a military state also. So some of the generals have decided to like be greedy and try to like claim stuff for their own, and they're also having civil war with each other.
Endwalker's gonna be great.
Endwalker's gonna be great. I'm gonna be crying my eyes out.
I don't know if 5.5 got me. So no, when did Seto happen? When last time we talked to Seto?
Which one? Which
The
Seto? Oh, the last time we talked, I want to say that was 5.5.
Yeah,
Is either 5.5, 5.4 maybe? I don't remember.
When we let the crystal, we gave him the crystal.
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's the one that got me. You can't, it's an animal. Like,
but it's not. It's a beastman.
Yeah, well, yes, also a beastman.
They're sentient.
They are sentient.
They have thoughts and feelings.
But that was also sad too, because he sounded like somebody's grandpa.
It was, yes. Seto was the companion to Ardbert, and so we basically, when Ardbert like becomes us, we then like becomes a part of us. We then like go to see Seto to let Seto know what happened with Ardbert and let them have the communication. And
they give you the Disney. They give you the Disney sad music and everything.
They give you the Disney sad music. It was literally because like so much time had passed since like because I forgot what that beast tribe race is called. I forgot.
Amarat.
Yeah, so they live for an extremely long time, and so it had been a very long time since they had last seen Ardbert, and we basically get to it was like one last final goodbye between old friends, and it's basically a race of like giant sentient birds.
They didn't have to give him the whole the beard though. Like the end, I was like, come on, man, that's just a beard. That's just an old man beard. You're just making him old. He's just old. You already got him with this old man voice, or old person in general voice.
Saying goodbye to grandpa.
Yeah, like nah. Can't just be playing with people's emotions like that. See you, Yoshi P. You love pain, don't you?
Yeah, no, they were. You should have seen his face, and I think it was like FanFest or one of the live letters when he's just like, "Oh no, y'all are you are all in for it. We've been warned."
Oh well.
So we're going to. There's gonna be a lot of tears.
At least you know what else comes out.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair because I was about to say, you know what? I mean, it's only thing I'm really thinking about is Endwalker, but Halo comes out.
Hey, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I know.
What? I'm like, Aaron. I'm pretty sure there was a game he said. Did you hear the name? I didn't.
It's Halo.
You mean Endwalker?
I mean. Yes, Endwalker, a first-person story and short story in Endwalker about the space marine in Endwalker. That guy.
Wait, but we are going to space, so that tracks.
I mean, definitely going to the moon.
Well, yeah, what's his face? Yes, I mean, I don't know. Funny thing, this is very much the epitome of what Game Pass kind of has done, is where I don't particularly have any hopes for Halo as long as they continue the story, because I don't have to pay for it. And I always see, it's true, like I don't, there are things that that I'm wondering about Halo, because 343 has always been under fire for acknowledging the novels as like the world building tool for Halo and not Bungie. Because the Halo trilogy Bungie did was just, in terms of story, was fairly stupid. And it's very good that they just go with the novels, but people didn't like that.
Wait, people didn't like that?
No, hated it. No. The disdain for
especially 5.
yeah, the disdain for essentially taking the Halo extended universe and basing a story around it. People did not like that in the slightest. It was very funny.
But it's good.
No, they did not. Like I said, Halo is it's a weird game series where like the narrative high point for a lot of people is the Halo Reach game, which if you follow the story is not good if you've read the book, because the book Reach and the game Reach are two separate, are just there's a lot of disdain for the book that the game has, considering how much energy went into framing how the Spartans all died on Reach before Master Chief was a thing. And
that always bugged me. Like, you're a damn Spartan, and in the way they do trick you.
In the game, you're in Reach. Just so people, if anyone's unfamiliar, there is a planet that the whole point of the Covenant human encounter is to make sure that they do not find human planets, whole ass human planets like Earth or whatever. So they found Reach, and there was a massive evacuation / battle. Every Spartan on the planet died, getting as many humans possible off the planet. It's a big display of Covenant power. The narrative is, like I said, several dozen Spartans died getting humans out of there, and that's
literally what they were trained to do.
Right. In the problem with the game is that they don't quite respect how strong the Spartans are as in like narratively. So in the book, say every Spartan took roughly about maybe 50 Covenant to die. So it was like a type of thing where it's like, we need to get you to the helipad out of the orphanage. The Covenant are in the orphanage. I'm going to hold a wall. And after 45 minutes of just one Spartan fighting the Covenant, they're dragged to the ground after 45 minutes of fighting them. And all of them die in these really exaggerated, heroic manners. All of them. And that's the story. And in the game, it's kind of like Final Destination, where you were just kind of suddenly randomly killed. And that's nothing like the book. And I find it to be generally disrespectful, considering how much energy the book put into describing the sacrifices, them all dying. And a lot of Halo players consider that to be the emotional high point of the game series.
That's the wild part. If you didn't know the other portions of it, it is. Like, there's nothing else to go on between 1, 2, and 3. Like, that's the wild part, because I had no idea about this, because I've never read The Fall of Reach. I think that's the name of the book, right?
Fall of Reach.
Mm-hmm. It is so.
I heard it's amazing. I haven't read it.
Is it? I was gonna say, isn't it a 3-part series?
No. It was.
Or is it just the one?
It's one book, but the story about there are several stories about what happened before and after.
Right.
Okay, because I remember the before, and then I remember because when I had read that was like the newest one to come out.
I didn't know you read the Halo novels, Bacon.
Yeah, no, I love them. It's part of why I love Halo.
Oh, didn't know you were that big of a Halo fan. Oh yeah, well
yeah.
Then you should play Halo.
Yeah, I genuinely love the Halo narrative. This is actually my first time realizing that the game doesn't actually respect the story. Except for post Bungie. I know because I know post Bungie story.
343 respects it to a fault and has alienated, air quotes, their fans. So they created a story, an original story based on the natural, the way the story would take place from the books. So Halo 5 ended on a massive Empire strike. Like, I think did I ever mention the story of Halo 5 to you? Did we ever talk about Halo 5?
Briefly.
I didn't realize how much you liked Halo. But anyway, yes.
I genuinely like the story of Halo.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. So I guess this explains why I don't get along with Halo players.
No, Halo players don't with all due respect, there is a big disconnect between the Halo players and the Halo narrative fans, I find.
Yeah, totally different people.
They're totally different people, but for some reason, the people who don't like the Halo story are the people who are there for the multiplayer. Their opinion should be...
I love the multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, I understand, but there is like... There's a different... To be very blunt, there's a different expectation of storytelling if you're there for multiplayer versus you're there for the narrative. So I play Halo primarily for the story at this point. I like the multiplayer, but I play Halo primarily for the story. But my understanding of the story is just different now as a result. What I expect from the game is different. And I appreciated the story. And I think a lot of folks are there for the multiplayer. So their focus and expectations are different. They're pointed in the different direction. So it's like, I mean, to be blunt, I don't think you should ask someone who's only playing Halo's multiplayer. You should not be. I mean, it's rude to say because you have to serve your fan base, but you really shouldn't be spending it. Fuck them. Like if you're not there, if you don't care about the story, which is your right, but you can't then chime in on it if the story is like honestly regarding all the stories ever told about Halo. Like that's what you want from any universe. And I was concerned about Halo Infinite with regards to paying attention to the story, because it seemed as though 343 was getting really shouted down off of using its own using the story, and I was wondering whether they were gonna just like, because there were talks about like, you know, they're going to retcon the story, which is like Cortana figuring out a way for AIs not to die, and essentially creating a faction of AI people who are like, I'd like to not die, and she's like, bet. And then they're all alive infinitely in a group, and they had assumed control of pretty much everything and left you kind of alone in space, like just like one singular UNSC ship. And that was where they left the game. That was where they left Halo that's where they left Halo 5. And because when I was screeching about the story, because mostly you didn't play as Master Chief. You spent half the game.
Master Chief supposed to be dead?
No, he's not dead.
Okay.
He is very much alive, but he's very much since Cortana died in Halo 4, he's been kind of you're seeing the chinks in his armor. One of my favorite things about Master Chief, and some of the things that's arguable about it, is whether Master Chief was a sympathetic figure wearing the scars of having saved the world 3 separate times.
So one of the things I really like about the narrative series is that it goes into how Spartans were made.
Yes.
But it also, like, at no point is Master Chief a soulless person.
Yes. And in
like specifically, that's like kind of his issue, is that he's very not.
In fact, the big departure in the books from the game, which is why it's always the reason why there's such issue with Master Chief in the games, is that Master Chief was originally Jesus. In the Bungie world, in the novels, he's just lucky. It's clearly stated that one of the reasons why Cortana fucks with him is because he's extremely lucky. He's not the best Spartan. He's not the fastest Spartan, not the strongest Spartan, but he's the luckiest Spartan. And that is, Cortana has said that on record, that's why she fucks with him. You know what I mean? And in the games, they don't quite play on that. In the games, he's just kind of Space Marine Jesus, and that's it.
Right.
And that's not the separation. I see where it causes trouble with some players. Like in Halo 5, when you were playing as Locke, for example, and hunting Master Chief, no one quite believed that no one believed that as a thing, even though Locke is actually more skilled would be able to beat Master Chief in a fight because he's a trained assassin for real, trained to find Spartans specifically. So he would actually be able to find Master Chief and give him grief. But because there are two sets of people that read the novels and understand Master Chief is a human being of incredible luck, and then the people who play the games where they think Master Chief is in fact a space Jesus, not unlike Commander Shepard, they collided. And it seems as though 343 is settling in Halo Infinite, where they're continuing the story, but Master Chief is a little bit closer to Space Jesus. And
I was noticing that
Right.
last trailer when he said what he said at the end, like it was some impossible white man shit that he said.
Right.
And I was like,
and they've been going away from that. Like,
yeah,
Halo 4 and 5, you can see the weight of him being Master Chief is starting to bear down on him. And that
would make sense because if you read the narrative books,
right, he's literally been working relentlessly as a soldier for about a decade, like endlessly, mission for a decade. Even when he's not in the Halo games, he's out in the streets. And then he went rogue in Halo 5 to try and find Cortana.
And in between that time, he's seen some wild, fucked up shit.
Right.
like, wild, fucked up shit.
And his only friend in the world died. So like literally he has his childhood friends, the original Spartan group, and then Cortana. And Cortana is effectively his homie, and she died. So he's trying to figure out how to sort this out. And yeah. That's what's happening. He's not having the best time of it.
Oh, and then your best friend turns into Lex Luthor.
Right.
Well. Viewed as Lex Luthor.
I don't know. I understand. Cortana is right behind Solas in terms of I understand why this person is doing this.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Cortana is a little different.
Of course, Cortana is
Cortana's an AI though. At the end of the day,
well, Cortana's alive. Like Cortana is a thing, and you know how the point of AI is to die. And
she's based off something though.
She's about some Halsey.
Yeah.
Well, Halsey. I don't know. Halsey is not. Halsey is not a heel. She's not evil. They told her to do a thing at our darkest hour, and then when she did it, they turned on her, and then blamed her for it because you know how the original Spartans are child soldiers before they were able to straighten it out and turn like anybody into a Spartan by like the Spartan 4 program. Yep. So in Halo 4 and 5, she's actually getting like court-martialed for it, and publicly they're reaming her out for it, even though she's like, you asked me to do this, we were not going to survive if I didn't, and I did it, and now I'm the villain, and I'm the only person that is ever involved in the creation of Spartans ever, apparently.
When it was like a whole goddamn team,
a whole situation requiring, it was a whole thing where people were absolutely positively demanding that this stuff happens for the good of humanity. So yeah, this is our last hope. So yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot going on. Cortana's based off Halsey. Either way, all of these details are from the books. Halo 4 and 5 play into this stuff. So folks do not like that. I was worried that they were going to kowtow to them, which I think they are. There's a lot more Chief being Jesus here, but I think they're continuing the story. I always continued they were going to act like nothing happened, which would have been my greatest fear. It'd been like, who Cortana took over what universe? Where? Free AI? Who? No, I know what you're talking about. They don't work here anymore. But they're going to do that. But again, all these concerns, everything we just spoke about for the past 10 minutes, I don't care because it just says install when I hover and I mouse over the game. It says install.
Yeah, straight up. Like, it's so much anxiety that gets lifted
right
when you just go like, well, you know what?
I didn't pay $60 for this. I don't care.
Right. It's like whatever Halo does is fine enough.
Yeah.
And
so,
that, yeah.
I think Phil has a little piece of, like, Phil Spencer himself is like a little nostalgic about Halo. Like, he's a little bit older than us, but like not by much, right? So like that's the only reason I think that Halo had to cook a little longer. Because I think like if it was Game Pass and any other person, they would have threw that out there and let it go and said, all right, we're gonna work on it while we do it. Because I don't know, man. I think this Halo might be okay. Like, I don't think the story is going to be great, but I think the replayability of it might be okay.
I think the story will be fine too. I mean, they're not discontinuing it, and in fact, the point of the story is that there is a specific AI designed to overwrite other AI, and that's the thing, is it? So it's like what is this? It's essentially like young Cortana designed to defeat old Cortana before she takes over the universe. I'm here for that. I'm here. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So, yeah, I'm willing to see where they go with it. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie, they've handled the narrative better than Bungie, and now the multiplayer is out. Everyone loves the multiplayer, so they finally got the multiplayer right after 2 tries. Halo 4 and Halo 5 were under heavy scrutiny. They finally got it right by kind of just giving us the Master Chief Collection, so they left Bungie's multiplayer and kind of poured it on our heads, and that's what we have. And yeah, again, I'm excited, but it's all just par for the course. And I think it's just because I'm not as financially invested in Halo as I would be normally.
The fact that Halo and Forza feel the same to me is kind of weird.
That is I've read that somebody has made that comment. I don't agree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've read that it's and it's not that. It's like, if it's kind of like how all Netflix shows feel the same, but it's not. That's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
yeah, I mean, there are different levels to it, but like I
there's something to be said for getting all of your things from the same service. And I think also I don't think it's a problem, because I think my first party Microsoft has a look and a feel not unlike first party Sony.
Yeah, this is true.
The first party Sony game, the third person cinematic adventure game of the extremely high production values. That game, that's us. That's, you know what I mean? That's fine. That's what we're used to. And there is the first party Xbox game. Microsoft first party games have a certain look and feel to them. So I get it. I do understand what you're saying. I really do. I get it, and I see it.
Yeah, no. What I meant, I wasn't even saying design-wise, more as an anticipation-wise. Like, for me personally, I'm not a big Forza fan, but I've played every Halo, right? And right now, Forza came out, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And Halo's going to come out, and right now, I played the multiplayer like 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay, yay. And I like, I'm bouncing back and forth and getting that opportunity to, I think it's dope. Like, I being able to be rational about video games again, and not have to worry about price being a factor in a lot of them.
Right.
Is great. It's actually made me enjoy a lot more games. Like we said earlier, I probably wouldn't enjoy.
No, and that's fine. We play less games because of that, and that's perfectly. Yeah, we all play less games because we have to watch how many dollars we spend. So being able to have access to, excuse me.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, not having to worry about that is very, very, very relieving. So, that's why I haven't said anything about Halo. I'm gonna play Halo. And now that I know that I didn't know Bacon was a Halo narrative fan, I'm actually just going to impart what's happening to Bacon while Bacon plays Endwalker.
Yes, please do that. Please tell me.
Okay, and I am actually excited for the continuation of Halo. I didn't realize I had such a Halo-friendly podcast group, to be very blunt.
I read the books when they came out, which was high school.
Right, yeah. I've been reading them steadily. I haven't read one in a few years, but yeah, the Halo novels are what really gave me my appreciation of Halo.
No, same. It's actually why I started I played Halo specifically for the story and not for the multiplayer.
Right.
And it was one of my very good friends at the time was the one who put me onto it, and like he was like excited. He's like, we have to get the new Halo game. Also read these books, and I'm like, okay. And I did. And I was like, this is amazing. Oh shit. And then like I don't know. I didn't realize that they like argued, because like for me it contextualized Halo, and I was just like, no, Master Chief.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's like I think one of the things I like about the narrative is Master Chief really hates being considered Jesus.
Right. He doesn't
Like,
want this.
He doesn't want any of it. He hates all of this.
He's working. And I feel like the fact that he's like doing all this, but at the end of the day, he's just working is kind of the conceit. It's like he's doing a job. To him, he's doing a job, always doing a job. And
Like the longest doctor's rotation of all time.
right. And the fact that the fact that this is kind of like he is continuously the only person that can do this thing.
And he's not even the most competent one.
Right. But he's the best one at it, and he's become a bit of a legend. Also, it's funny. There was one thing that I read in one of the books that is actually reflected in the game, which is my favorite bit. Old Spartans are bigger than new Spartans, because new Spartans are essentially people like I can take we're at the point now where they can take us and turn us into Spartan. You know what I mean? And it's not as jarring to the physical form as the Spartan ones. All the old Spartans, Master Chief, they're all bigger than the other Spartans. So for someone who is just like, I'm doing a job, I'm just trying to get this done, is now like 3 heads taller than the rest of them when he walks into the room. Aside from that, him being a legend, he's also 3 heads taller than the other Spartans. And it's just like, it's just like, it's funny because it's just like kind of like, it's just like, well, fuck, you know, he's trying. He's
pretty relatable to you, isn't it, buddy?
Really?
I'm just saying. I mean,
I think it's most relatable to LJ.
You were speaking so passionately about it.
Well,
that
LJ's like 7 feet tall, isn't he?
Yeah, LJ.
Yeah, he's like 7 feet.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not 7 feet tall, but might as well be.
At some point, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right. Like at some point you hit that height where you're just giant.
Right. It's just you're a big boy. And it's just like over 6'8". There's 6'1" to 6'3", and then 6'6" to 6'10", and then over it's just like infinity or TBD or whatever. Like it's the horizon point where it's like you're so tall that no one knows how tall you are. You are officially, oh shit, you're tall is like on your driver's license.
Like you're never gonna get an accurate
measurement. You will never get. No one will stop telling you, oh shit, you're tall long enough to tell you how tall you actually are. Yes. And so yes. But yes. Okay. Halo. All right. Maybe we're going to return for short stuff. But I didn't know Halo was one of the things that we could return for. Okay,
yeah,
cool. We're all okay.
It's already pre-installed.
Is it? Can you pre-install it now? Like I have
PC.
Oh, on PC. Oh, okay.
Does it drop on the same day?
No. The 8th of December.
Oh yeah, they're fucked. But it's fine. One, Bungie doesn't care. Microsoft doesn't care. And
doesn't care about what?
Oh, Endwalker and Halo. Like both Microsoft doesn't care and Square doesn't care.
Well, with all, it's because the games are essentially just kind of taking 2 different sets of time. It doesn't really it almost doesn't matter, if that makes sense. Like Microsoft just wants you to be subscribed to a service. They don't care when you play Halo.
Right, that's why they don't care.
Yeah, they're not worried about it. Like, oh, you want to if you sign up for Game Pass to play Halo for an hour before you go back to Endwalker, they're good.
And Square and the Final Fantasy team literally yell at us to play other games.
Right.
They're like, log off now, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Please log off. Do something else. Get some air.
That's real.
Have you stretched today?
That's real. Also, I enjoy the inferred. We don't want to deal with your cranky asses because cranky fan bases are a mess.
The worst.
So I imagine they're just like, you know what? Horrible. We're just not even gonna. So they're
there's gonna be a couple days of just straight kicking people from Novice Network.
Oh, you're a good one. First of all, the requirements for Novice Network Mentor are ridiculous, and I don't think I would ever hit that to begin with. So
it's not okay. So if you're trying to grind for it, I could see where it's a lot. If otherwise, it's just playing the game.
Yeah, but how many mentor roulettes you got to do?
You don't have to do mentor roulette.
What do you have to do each? You have to do what, 300?
So for combat mentor, so first off, they're changing the trade mentor. The trade mentor is ridiculously easy. Almost anybody can get it. For combat mentor, you need 1,500 comms, accommodations, which you just get from playing the game.
Right. I thought it was
You
a
need
set of,
a level 80 tank, a level 80 DPS, and a level 80 healer.
okay, that's what it was.
And you have to complete the role quests for each of them. So again, it's just playing the game. And then for trade mentor, you have to have a disciple of hand and disciple of land, both at 80, and you have to have like 200 collectibles for one of them and 300 collectibles for the other. But they're making it more difficult for trade mentor and Endwalker, which I'm really glad for.
Cool. I was just curious. No, I said cool. I was just curious.
Yeah. So like, if you're trying to actively grind to be a mentor, I could see where it's a lot, but most of it's just play the game.
Yeah. I thought that. I think I got mistaken when I thought you had to do it in a specific.
No, so mentor roulette, to unlock mentor roulette, you have to do every dungeon and extreme trial. And I think you have to do the binding coil just like normal mode.
Oh, okay.
But you have to basically do every single dungeon and trial and extreme trial.
Sheesh.
And then to unlock it. And then there's a achievement that you get for 3,000 mentor roulettes.
Good grief. That's a lot.
It's either 1,000 or 3,000. I could be confusing my mentors because like I could be confusing myself. But yeah, there is it might be 1,000 actually. But there is a special mount that you get after with the mentor roulette achievement. So some people who are mount hunters try to do it that way, but there's also people who just like take the mentor role, and I don't know why. Like, because they don't actually want to help people. They might, and they don't necessarily care about the achievement, but they put on the mentor tags, and they like they might be achievement hunters. I don't know, but they'll be a mentor, but they don't actively want to help people. And so some of them will be jumping in and they're just rude.
Mm.
So they pop up at every new content. So Novice Network can get a little like toxic at that point, but then like literally after a week, most of them are gone and they get kicked really fast by the mentors who are pretty constant.
Noted.
I can't
like I don't like folks I will like boot them with a quickness. And when you get kicked from Novice Network as a mentor, you can't get back in for 3 hours.
That makes sense. I mean, they updated all the standards here recently, so
they didn't actually like it was
they didn't
updated.
change anything.
They didn't change anything. They just made it clear.
Yeah. They were like, don't be dumb.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Is like the entirety of it is don't be a dick.
Please.
We are asking you to not be a dick.
Don't stalk people, please.
Don't stalk people. Because we have like streamers. So like what some people will do is they'll follow the streamer wherever they go. And sometimes they'll also be like people who are just kind of rude and will block the quest NPC by like standing on it.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, that's a bannable offense, and they will ban you.
Like forever?
They give pretty harsh punishments, but yeah.
Good.
Not forever, but like you won't be able to log in for like 3 days.
Okay. I love to see it.
Again, don't be a dick. Number 1 rule, don't be a dick. Hi, Dynamite.
All right.
My cat is feeling good enough to start begging 2 hours early for dinner.
Fantastic.
I am both very happy about this and very not happy about this.
How can you not be happy about your cat being a begging ass cat? It's great.
I'm happy about it because she's feeling better. I am not happy about it because she's a nuisance.
She's a nurse. I refuse to hear anything about Nurse Dynamite. I refuse. There. I said it.
See.
All right.
It's your games.
All right, y'all.
How is this selling for 127,000 when all the mats are like a penny?
I don't even want to know what you're looking at right now, Bacon.
Mellow mog lamps. I need more lighting.
No, the house is fine.
It's not done.
So much light. It has so much.
No, the ground floor doesn't have enough light.
All you have to do is stand in the doorway. Just stand in that hallway area right there.
The ground floor. I need light and not the stairs.
Well, I think this is endless.
It is.
And I think we have established that we are going to be gone for a minute. Just in and out. So even like when we return, we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy. So
and Halo.
Oh yeah, who knew?
I'm still reeling. I didn't realize that you were so Halo friendly, Bacon.
I'm actually surprised you didn't know I'm Halo friendly.
Did not know you were Halo friendly.
Very Halo friendly.
I mean, you have a very quality no white dude gaming policy, and you don't. He is top 5, possibly the most famous white first-person shooter dude ever. And he has attracted some of the worst gamers ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're pretty terrible. Welcome to why I don't play Halo anymore.
Right. So I was like, well, you don't want to hear about Halo.
No, that's not true. I like Halo. I just trying to figure out what the word is. So Halo came out before I came out with my rule, kind of like Zelda did as well. So it definitely came out before my decisions on gameplay. And then about the time that they started that, they made it so you can play different characters in Halo and have like different voices in Halo, so that made it easier. Like later on, like the later games. And then like I really like Halo Reach. I like Halo ODST.
ODST was great.
ODST was so good, and that game was so goddamn hated.
That was Bungie's best. That was Bungie's best Halo game. Funny enough,
it was the best Halo game, and folks did not like that game.
No, not at all.
I don't get why they don't like that. The game was great.
It's because you weren't playing as Space Jesus. It's
right.
Now triangulating years of complaints is the novels are about the entire world after it's saved by a bunch of a bunch of cybernetically enhanced child soldiers. That's what the novel suggests. What happens now in a world where that is what saved us? A military society forced to be a military society at gunpoint, literal gunpoint, to save itself. What now? The games are about Cyber Jesus. And those two, I realize now that those are two separate fandoms, where one, like, they've pulled a few from the core Halo, but for the most part, there is a very loud minority of people who do not understand that the world of Halo is not about Cyber Jesus. It's not.
It's not about Cyber Jesus.
He's a child. He's a child soldier.
Give me a game about the Arbiter.
Yo.
Well, the Arbiter still exists, and the Arbiter is still a thing. So yes, we're probably gonna bump into all this stuff in Halo Infinite. I hope. That is my hope. But, that's us. Since we're gonna be gone for a bit, everybody, Bacon, where can people find you? Because they're gonna need to find you because you're gonna be gone, so they need to find you.
I will be on Twitch.
What's that? My favorite thing is how unready you are with your own Twitch every single time. Like, you're like 0 for 18. Like, you're a crispy 0%. I have never said, hey, Bacon, what's your Twitch? And you've responded in a timely manner. It's like a pop quiz every time. You just kind of woke up with the page stuck to your face. Like, what are we doing? What's your Twitch? What? I'm going to be on Twitch. Well, what is it? What? You can find me on Twitch, which is, huh? Anyway, it's at it's twitch.com / the Baconzilla or Baconzilla.
That's what I was wondering.
Wow.
Look.
Wow.
The Baconzilla.
The Baconzilla. Okay, here we go. Okay, the Baconzilla. And on Twitter, how would they be able to find you, Bacon?
I won't be on Twitter.
Fair point. Bat!
I'm going to be avoiding spoilers, so will not be on Twitter.
Fair.
How are people supposed to find you while you're gone?
So I kind of do some twitching
Mm-hmm.
now and then where I like combat games, and sometimes I get bored and play a very specific type of game. So find me on Twitch at ATC Sigma. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Same for Twitter, Ashley3 Classy. And
I love that name so much. I think it's my favorite out of all your names.
And then I actually talked to 4 of the Black astronauts about possibly doing something for the holidays. So maybe I'll get a show.
Very nice.
So
Very nice, my friend. All right. And I'm gonna just be around. I'm gonna still be doing this. I got to do something to Jayla. I'm gonna see if I can wrangle some people to do some interesting stuff before the new year while they ain't doing nothing. I'm at ANS Freeman on Twitter though. I should stream, and
you should.
I should. I'm gonna take the break, and I'm going to try and do the thing. But ANS Freeman on Twitter. It's Black Jesus, BLAKKJEZUS on Twitch, but you'll know from the Twitter once that happens, so you don't need to go sniffing around. It's all good. And that's us. That's 80 Space. We're going to play Final Fantasy. We're just making this real clear. We're going to play Final Fantasy. That is our auto response. Playing Final. Hold on. What is the direct quote? This is what is it? There, I gotta find it again now, because
I know it was pretty great because I need to change my Twitter handle of that.
Yes. Let's see. No podcast, only Final Fantasy 14 and Walker. I repeat, no podcast, only Endwalker. Capital N, no period. No podcast, only Endwalker.
I'm sorry.
And with that, and that is where we will leave all of you. No podcast, only Endwalker. Exactly.
I mean, I did specifically say the last time I was on the Nerd Off. 1 second. I said the last time I was on the Nerd Off, I said that I was going to be playing Endwalker. They're like, what's going on? And I'm like, waiting for Endwalker.
Well, granted.
It's very clear on Endwalker.
I understand that you were clear on Endwalker, but still. That was
I thought it was funny.
It is funny. It's also it's both of these things. It's funny, and it's also humorously unprofessional. Sometimes that shit is funny. That was a well-timed joke. It was also messy as hell. Like, just without any context, it was messy as hell. You're just like, no.
Oh yeah, I'm really bad at understanding what's messy.
Oh no, that is if we were all not like friends and it was not a very casual thing, that would be an awful, like, that would be a laughably bad professional response to an inquiry for your time.
Whoops.
Right. And that's what makes it so funny. is you're just like, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, no podcast, only Endwalker is real. That's what happened. That's why I'm like, what happened? No podcast, only Endwalker. So it's real, and we appreciate your honesty here above all else. That is why we love you. So please never change. And yeah.
Also, please never do that.
What?
What?
Is that a please never do that also?
Listen, if money's not exchanging hands, so it's fine.
Yeah, yes.
That's fine. Like I said before, when the stakes get up a little higher, don't do that. But when the stakes are nice and low to the ground, phenomenal stuff. So with that, we say happy whatever holidays pass, and no podcast, only Endwalker. Never forget.
Podcast only Endwalker.
Oh, no podcast, only Endwalker.
Much import.